So this is our example that we're going to be using, the format that we're going to be using, and let's take a look at what we've got. So at the top, you'll notice the name, address, phone number, and email address right at the very top. So I've seen people put this at the bottom, but put it at the top. This is your name. This is who you are. It's your contact information. You want to make sure that's front and center. Make them know who this is. The next part is going to be your summary statement, or some people call it the objective. Call it what you want, but this is basically a mini sales letter that's going to give the company a snapshot into who you are, what you can do for them, and what you've done in the past. But you need to make it brief. 3-4 sentences, somewhere in that neighborhood, is really all that you're going to want to write. So I've seen summary statements that basically say, I want to get this job to further my career by learning the tips, or it's just garbage. Make sure that what you write is an actual sales letter. Think of it as an ad. You're selling yourself. If you can't sell yourself, there's no reason for them to call you back, because there's going to be someone else that's more intriguing, that has more experience, that has more education. But if you can get to them and show them, hey, I might not have the most education, or I might not have the most employment history, but I can kick ass, then that's what they want. So make sure that you highlight what you've done, because what you've done is usually a lot more impressive than what you really think it is. So let's look at this example. So my unique combination of technical and creative abilities helps me increase revenue for my current employer by $6 million last year alone. My no-nonsense approach to internet marketing helps set me apart. I'm a problem solver, not a rule follower. I'll help define your goals, set realistic targets, and prove my abilities by showing you a revenue increase at the end of the year. My work has been featured in major publications such as Forbes and the New York Times. So at the very end, there's validation. We show them, hey, these two major publications have some kind of interest in what I have done. Before that, we're telling them in this sentence, I'll help define your goals, set realistic targets, and prove my abilities by showing you a revenue increase at the end of the year. That's telling them that if hired, I'm going to tell you, okay, these are the goals that we need to hit. We're going to set the targets. This is the roadmap to get to those targets. And at the end of the year, I'm going to show you revenue increases, and that's going to prove my worth to you. That's huge. If you have any way of tracking that back to your performance, whether it's revenue increases or some kind of a decrease in a metric that employer is very concerned about, they're going to listen to you, period. So make sure that you know what their goals are. If their goals are to improve their revenue, then you want to make sure that you are hitting on those topics. And you're going to tell them, you're going to set the goals, you're going to set the targets, and you can prove it. At the end of the year, you'll show them actual dollar figures that prove your worth. One sentence prior to that. My no-nonsense approach to internet marketing helps set me apart. I'm a problem solver, not a rule follower. So what that's saying is, if you're looking for someone to push buttons and follow orders and just be another pawn in the game, don't call me, because that's not who you are. You are someone that's going to actually increase and make a difference. You're going to increase their bottom line. You're going to make a difference, and you're going to change things. This is the type of stuff that they want. They don't want some pawn. They want someone that's going to be able to take charge, that's going to hit the ground running and know what they're doing. Now the sentence before that, my unique contribution of technical and creative abilities helped me increase revenue for my current employer by $6 million last year alone. So what you're telling them there is you're creative, you're also technical, And by using those two skills together, you have actually increased revenue by $6 million last year alone. Now make sure you can back that up and bring hard evidence to an interview, because if questioned, you want to make sure that you have some proof or a case study or something to show them that you have actually done what you said you have done. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't have any job experience, you might be in college and you do have some experience there, that's fine. Make sure that you're emphasizing the qualities that you possess. So let's just say, for example, you worked at McDonald's. So what in the world can you use about McDonald's? Well, I scrubbed toilets at a bathroom. I flipped hamburgers. Okay, none of that is impressive and none of that should be put on your resume. But McDonald's has key goals. They have objectives that they need to hit in their drive-thru. They need to make sure that the wait time is reduced, is hitting a target. So if you contributed to reducing wait times in the drive-thru, that's a skill. That's something to put on your resume. You want to highlight that because it shows your employer or your future employer that you take those objectives seriously and you can hit those goals and you know what McDonald's is looking for and you're striving to make a difference with them. It might seem small, but to an HR executive or recruiter, that might make all of the difference, because if you can tell them that you care, they're going to listen.